Welcome to my January 2nd video update and a Happy New Year to everyone. I recently finished creating my mobile video storytelling course, and since I have it all completed and I've created all the hands-on activities that we'll do during the course, I'm even more excited to advertise the course and get some students. So I decided the best way to do this would be to create some commercials that also gave a tip or some information, so it's kind of a trade-off, and record those and use them on Facebook and other social media venues. So I went through my syllabus and identified a dozen or more situations or things that we cover in the class and chose those to try to create spots. And thank goodness our eldest granddaughter, Caroline, who's 18, was willing to be my actress for these spots. And so we had arranged for a time to do this, and Caroline showed up, and two of her friends came with her, also 18, by the way. And I suddenly realized, whoa, I need a release for these other two young ladies. I mean, I've always got contact with our granddaughter, and probably should have had her sign a release as well, but I definitely needed a release for her two friends. And I did a quick search online, found one that was reasonably short, somewhat concise, but yet covered everything. And I adapted it to my own name and everything, and had each of them sign it. I filed those away, and I'll probably never have to look at them again, but this is important. It is public. These are going to be made public, these little spots that I do. And even though they're only 30 seconds to 90 seconds long, it's still using someone in a public spot. And so it's important that you do that is to get a release, just to cover yourself and protect yourself. If someone in the future, if for some crazy reason one of my videos went viral and it was just everywhere in the world, thousands of people were looking at it, and maybe I made money from it somehow, a family member, the person herself in this case, could come after me and say, we need a release for this. And I have it. And I'll always have it. So if there's ever a question about whether they had agreed to do this or not, I'm covered. So back to the commercials. I had come up with about 16 or so situations that I wanted someone to record doing something. It's like, don't shoot with your iPhone or your smartphone in vertical mode. Don't zoom with your smartphone. Things like this, and I'll insert an example or two so you can see what we did. So what I did is, went through all these, I took the topic, a description of the scene, and the equipment that I was going to need, and I chose those and made a list of them. And then I, made them, a little bit larger font so they'd be easy to read, and printed it out. And then on the set, which was our backyard, I had that available to me. And I'm so glad I did that. It turned out to be quite invaluable because it kept me on track, number one. And number two, it helped me make sure that I got through each of the scenes that I wanted to record. And that worked. And it was really fun to work with these three young women. And we all quickly came to realize why it takes so long to record a feature film or a film. I mean, for these 16 little spots, none of which were very long. Most of them were like 8 to 15 seconds long for what I needed for how I was going to use it. And yet the whole process I think we did all 16 of them, it took us almost 2 hours. And I think the girls enjoyed themselves. There was a lot of laughing going on, at least. And I'd set up my Olympus camera on a tripod and I had intended to capture some behind the scenes footage of how we did this, but we were moving around so much and trying to get out of the sun or into the sun or depending on what we were doing. And it really, there was nothing usable. In hindsight, I wish I'd assigned one of the girls, or shown all the girls really, how to stop and start the video, or even just leave the video run and move the camera so it was on us. But I didn't, so I don't have any behind the scenes for this experience. In the future, if we do this again, I definitely will handle it that way. Once I had all the action footage, what I was recording with these young ladies, once I had that completed, I then needed to record myself doing the follow-up to that. These would serve as kind of an intro scene in a commercial, and then I would follow up with what the tip was and describe a little bit about the course, and then finish off with an address to get more information on the course. Then once I had that, I had the action footage and I had my talking footage, and I just used LumaFusion on my iPad Pro to merge them together, to edit them together into the 30 to 90 second pieces that I then had. And I think I've produced maybe 12 of them, and I still have to do some recording of myself with the follow-up, so I can put the last 3 or 4 together. I'm posting them mainly on Facebook, and then I am uploading them to my YouTube channel, and I'm including them in my commercials playlist. So if you're interested in seeing them, you can take a look there. As I said, I'll insert some examples in today's footage. So thank you very much for checking in, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video update. Goodbye. Action!